What's up guys, I watched all the games from Lille Regionals and in this video I go over the best plays of Palkia Inteleon from some of the best players in the world like Robin Schultz who's a former world champion, Owyn who might just be the best player in the world right now, Fabien who's also just a great player, and explain how they win in really intricate and even really bad situations I found. So yeah, enjoy the video guys. So the first game I wanted to highlight was this game between Robin Schultz and Jens. This game is actually really interesting. There's a lot of dimensions. We're starting on turn 2, so on turn 1, they both just use Radiant Greninja, I think, got a decent bench. Not really much happening, not really much to focus on the turn 1s, but here turn 2, you see Robin start to think this is where the game starts getting interesting. So in the Palkia Mirror, you really want to you're trying to win in 3 attacks. That's the main thing. You're just trying to win as fast as possible, regardless of what side you're on. If you're on the side that's going to lose first, then the other dimension you have for is the Roxanne, and we're going to see that come into play this game. But the way both these players go about this matchup is really interesting. So here, Robin, we're going to see him. He's going for double cross switcher. He's definitely looked at the situation. He's going, yep, I need to double cross switcher. Going to go straight to the Palkia. Because he needs to start this prize race and he needs to be the one that's ahead. Because he's going first, he has the advantage. He's got a full board here. Everything is going perfectly for Robin. So on to Jen's side, what he's thinking is that he really needs to disrupt Robin. He needs to just slow him down as much as possible. And the best way he's going to do this, instead of cross-switching the bench Palkia, which is an easy knockdown, would make him use his choice belt, which might be useful later. He is thinking that he absolutely has to disrupt Robin by killing the active Palkia. So that's what we're going to see him do here. Very good play from Jens to recognize this, that he has to go full bench, he has to go choice belt, don't even think about cross switches. Because he could have gone for a cross switcher play here, right? He could have gone Irida for Palkia cross switcher, gotten out, well he has a Scuba Net head, so he could have gone Drizzle for Incense. That's another thing to think about with sequencing, he could have gone Drizzle, used his scoop up net to use it. It's actually not true. What could he have done here? He probably could have gone cross switcher if he wanted to. He's getting a quick ball here. He definitely could have gone for the cross switches to kill the bench one, but he doesn't want to. He wants to, go straight into the active. And we see another great play here from Jen. So he does have the other Drizzle in hand. He's going to go for the second Drizzle to evolve his Sobble, because he's already thinking, even just on turn 2 of the game, he's like, next turn is my last turn. Next turn is a turn where I go all in. I use Roxanne. I disrupt, and so with that, he's gonna need the quick shooting Inteleon because he's using his choice belt here. So the next Palkia that comes up, he's gonna have no way to kill it, to stop him from having the energies to kill on the next turn as well. So yeah, he evolves this Drizzle, which is great play. Because normally you would want to keep one Sobble and a Drizzle so that when you go for your Inteleon, you can scoop up net and then use a Drizzle that you got again, which is more efficient. But here he's recognizing, I don't want that. I need both my Inteleons next turn so I can get my Roxanne with one of my Inteleons and my way to attack as well in the Palkia. And I can also get Roxanne. So here, Robin, this is something I want to highlight. So Robin goes for a play here with the quick shooting Inteleon. He's going to draw here. He's just going with Melanie. The Melanie is very good here to get energy on to have an energy on his bench Palkia, so that he has more opportunity to bench it to attack with it next turn, especially if he's Roxanne. But what I wanted to say here is that Robin has a really interesting line and a really, in my opinion, good line that he could have gone here. So here, we'll wait until he does it. He's going to quick shooting the active and then kill it, which could be considered a good play, but I think he has a better play. If he doesn't, so if he kills this active, if you look at the board state, in a few seconds, Robin's going to be in the losing position, because he's going to get Roxanne and his Palkia is going to be dead, and off this he has to kill an opposing Palkia with his Palkia, the only has an energy and he's under Roxanne, so off his 3 cards he's going to need to find so much to kill just his opponent's active Palkia. He needs an energy, he needs a Palkia, he needs a bench Pokemon, he might need a choice belt as well if a big charm comes down. Like, he needs so much and he only has 3 cards to do it. He's never going to draw it, especially considering he only has a Sobble. It's not even evolved into a Drizzle, and his Inteleon's in the prizes, which he might not get. So instead of doing this play, the play that I would make here is that you hit this. So at the moment he's doing 260 damage, which is exactly enough to kill it with the ping from Inteleon. The play I would make is hit the active for 260, so that your opponent can't Roxanne. He's still on 4 prizes if he does this. His opponent still can't Roxanne. Um, and then he'll be able to kill this active with quick shooting, and then he can use Echoing Horn, or he can just kill the bench Palkia, and he gets to keep his hand. He's got an Evolution Incense in his hand, he's got a Drizzle, he's got an Energy, he's already got like a lot of the pieces to take a knockout in his hand. Like if he keeps his hand, he has nothing to worry about. The only thing to worry about with this play is Marnie, but you still get more cards. If your opponent plays Marnie, you get to take 2 prizes, which draws you 2 cards. You get to draw an extra 2 cards because the Marnie isn't as strong as Roxanne. So, definitely, in my opinion, a mistake from Robin here. But definitely a convoluted line. And also, like, you can consider the disruption as well. You get to kill this Palkia, so your opponent has to find another Palkia. But yeah, in my opinion, definitely going for what I call skipping Roxanne, where you can take 4 prizes in one turn by quick shooting. After hitting a Palkia for 260. So we're going to see from Jen's side here, he's going to go for Bucket. He has his quick shooting and he has his other Inteleon, and all he needs to find is get a bench Pokemon that isn't a single prize bench Pokemon, so that you can't be Echoing Horned. That's something to consider here, to block Echoing Horn. Get your Palkia, probably get a big charm on it if you can. If not, fine. So he's just thinning out the heavy ball here. Definitely a good play. Gonna do quick ball away, quick ball to get that last basic that he needs, and then big charm, attack, and Roxanne. I mean, it depends. We know he has the big Inteleon in his hand, so he just Roxanne's here. And the thing is, Jens is actually winning, and like the great play he made on next turn by evolving both Drizzle means that he can kill this, and he can use this Inteleon to get Roxanne big charm. Look at how strong this is. You know, Robin is basically left with nothing, and he has to do so much in his turn. It's going to be so unreasonable for Robin to actually win this game because of the plays he made. Jen's absolutely making a brilliant play here. And yeah, getting that big charm is really important, getting the Sobble down. He's got everything here. He's made a great play. He's going to be drawing 6. All he has to do on the next turn is either find Echoing Horn or find a way to kill this Palkia. He's going to do that. Jen's thinking about this play, yep, a net as well. He's going to be able to kill the active, and also another thing, the same thing I said on this turn, you want to kill this Palkia. You never want to chase the bench Palkia, even though it might be easier. You know, you can quick shooting that Palkia, kill this small Palkia, and then you would have a kill on it next turn. You really are just looking for disruption here, to disrupt as much as possible, and killing a Pokemon, as we'll see with later plays in this video with like Fabien and Owyn. Killing Pokemon is disruption. It's actually really strong disruption. So Robin, he really doesn't have a play here. And we'll see after using Crobat, he's not able to find everything. Using Crobat, not able to find everything. And there wasn't really, he had to get Palkia and Choice Spell here, which, I mean, it was okay to find, but he didn't have any Inteleon pieces because he already used his Drizzle, so. Yeah, and Jens is going to take this, which is, you know, great. Jens played really well this game. He made an excellent play with his Roxanne, with his disruption, and with his game planning, killing the Palkia that had energy on it to disrupt his opponent. And yeah, just has to retreat to the Manaphy. Absolutely nothing he can do. Doesn't even have. I don't even think he has another Melanie in deck. So regardless of what happened, he wouldn't be able to win. But yeah, cross switcher on the Crobat is absolutely enough to win. So great play there from Jens. But yeah, on to the next one. The next game I want to highlight was this game from Fabien Pujol. It's in round 12, it looks like. And here we're starting where Fabien, I think he makes a really good play. So he's in this position against Kyurem. He's gone second, and Kyurem's got the first attack on the first turn on a Sobble. So at this point, Fabien's recognized, okay, well, he's losing. And unless he can win the game in 3 attacks, which the only way he can do is by putting damage with Greninja on Oranguru, which is also a good play here, but it's not the play Fabien's going to make. He's recognized that he's losing. And then if this Kyurem keeps attacking him, keeps killing his Palkias, he's going to lose. So in this situation, it's not that great to use Greninja. Greninja actually doesn't have a massive effect here. It's not making him win that much faster. You put damage on Kyurem, You put damage on something else. Unless you put it on a Rangaroo and go for a ping strategy, you're not actually going to win faster. But in this situation, Fabien is going to realize that he's losing, he's in the worst position, and he's got to go for something to try and get himself an advantage in this game. He's got to try something. He's not going to win just by going full straight at him with Palkias. Which like would be his best way to prevent prizes, right? If he goes Palkia into Palkia into Palkia, that would be his best way to prevent prizes. But that's not his best way to win in this situation. His best way to win is what he's gonna do here. We'll see it in a second. He's going to use Greninja and he's going to bring up the Oranguru because he's just hoping to his opponent to miss one attack. All he has to do is miss one attack. And so doing this, he can also like set up the Kyurem to be KO'd, which is the biggest threat on his opponent's board. The thing that can kill the fastest. Buff the Trading Card as well. Get out of play. Prevent, disrupt. You're losing. You got to go into Disruption plan. And so we'll skip to Fabian's next turn. And so here's Fabian's next turn. Palkia gets promoted here. Melanie's going to be played. Here he's just looking to knock out the Kyurem because, again, the best way he can slow down his opponent here, he's not in Roxanne range yet, so he can't use that. So he's going to Melanie to set up so he can use Roxanne next turn because he'll have enough energies on his board next turn. And that's something to think about. Like, if you don't have your V-Star power, your Melanie is your only way to accelerate energies. So he has to accelerate. He's going to have to accelerate one energy in the next 2 turns here. So he's setting it up so he can Roxanne next turn. If his opponent, like, knocks us out with a Kyurem or something like that. The one thing he does have to think about that I don't think he thinks about enough is that his opponent can use Radiant Greninja. So he should probably get Manaphy down here. Instead, he goes for something else. And his opponent does get the opportunity to Radiant Greninja. But yeah, he's just trying to get a break here. If his opponent keeps attacking, he will lose. Eventually, he will lose. You can see it's 4 to 6 prizes. If Mateus, he's a turn ahead. If he keeps attacking, Fabien, he's taking 3 prizes here, and he'll have to kill a Kyurem in 1 turn, but he might not be able to do that. That's another way that he can sort of take an advantage here, is if he can kill the Kyurem in 1 turn, but he's not going to get the opportunity to do that here if his opponent goes for Radiant Greninja. This Palkia should have been Manaphy if he had access to it. But yeah, he's just looking for a break here. He's looking for any way to get into a better situation. And yeah, we see here, his opponent unfortunately makes a bit of an error, doesn't go into the right Pokemon, and then Fabien gets the break you want a bit, like, this is what he was looking for, like, any mistake, any, 1 turn off, he's just looking for this. All he just needs is a small break to get back into this game, and Fabien gets fortunate enough to get it. We'll see here. He goes into the wrong Pokemon, he goes into the Kyurem, unfortunately, and from there he just has no chance. Instead of going into the Greninja, which is what he intended on doing. So here, yeah, Fabien just able to get a B attack off on this Kyurem and kill the next turn. He's on 3 prizes and ends the game. But I just wanted to highlight this game. I thought it was really interesting how Fabien played from behind. And yeah, so on to the next game. The third game I wanted to highlight was this game played by Owyn Cameraman. So this is Palkia vs Lost Box. A very interesting game. Owyn really shows us how to play, especially playing from behind as well. You can see here he's 1 prize behind. Brennan did go first and was able to kill a Sobble on his first turn. So Owyn really, he's in a pretty bad spot here as far as prize race goes. If Brennan can take 1 more prize, then 2 Radiant Charizard attacks will win him the game. So Owyn, this is really scary from Owyn. But Owyn's definitely fighting back, and the main thing Owyn's thinking about here, as we saw with Fabien, is he has to disrupt, and we're going to look at this play further. So, in this situation, Owyn is going to use Cross Switcher and bring up the Comfy, but he had 2 options here. He could bring up the Comfy or the Manaphy. So the first thing to think about here is that Owyn, after this turn, is going to have no shitty dealings for the rest of the game, because this Drizzle is going to go down, and then Owyn cannot bench another Sobble. If he benches another Sobble, then his opponent will go Echoing Horn, get down another Sobble, and then after his Drizzle dies, he's going to go to 4 prizes. If 2 more die, he's down to 2 prizes. No way to win from there. Absolutely not. All his opponent needs is 1 Radiant Charizard. There isn't even a path in Owyn's deck. So he literally is never going to be able to prevent that. Even with Roxanne, like, Roxanne is cool, but with enough flower selecting, because of how much time Brennan's going to have and how many prizes Owyn has to take to get back into this game, he's going to really struggle to do that if that situation occurs. So he can't bench Sobbles. He's never going to be able to shady dealings ever again, especially. So killing this Manaphy, if he gusts this Manaphy, Brennan does play 2 Manaphy's, and Owyn knows that. So if he gusts his Manaphy, the second Manaphy will come down. And then he has nowhere to gust it, he has nowhere to kill it, and so killing the Manaphy actually did absolutely nothing here. And then so Owens decided his best way to try and disrupt Brennan and stop him from winning this game is to slow down his flower selecting, slow down his free retreat, slow down this Comfy from getting as many cards into Brennan's hand to thin his deck. So in the late game, he's going to be able to go, after he keeps attacking actually 3 more times, has to attack 3 more times after this. He can go for Roxanne. And then hope that his opponent misses. And this game actually plays out exactly as Owyn planned. We'll see here. I'll just play this out. He uses Scoop Up Net. Another thing to think about, he realizes he can use his Scoop Up Net because he's not going to have anything to net for the rest of the game. He's not benching out a Sobble. He wants to keep his Greninja in play. He's really got nothing to net. And yeah, using the Training Court, disrupt, disrupt, disrupt. He's already got 2 Pokestops in the Lost Zone, so he's not going to have access to Pokestop for the rest of the game, which is really good on the side of Owyn. And it's one of the reasons that Owyn is actually able to claw himself back into this game. And so we see here, Brennan is able to get the Sableye. I'll skip to Owyn's next turn. So Brennan is able to get the Sableye, knocking out the Drizzle, gets damage onto the Palkia. So yeah, Owyn, he really has nothing he can do here. All he has to do is just keep drawing to try and find the Roxanne, which is going to be important piece in the late game. He can be looking for Marnie here as well. That's another card that Owyn can play to disrupt his opponent. But really here, he did get the boss food prizes, but he has nothing to gust. He could gust his Comfy, but then the Sableye just attacks again. The best way to do this is to force your opponent to play Clara by killing their attacker. And the attack here is Sableye. And so we've already seen during this game, because of less flower selectings, Brennan had more, he had to take switch cards, and he had less choices of his flower selecting, so he had to put a Sableye into the Lost Zone. So it's more likely he has to use Clara. So we already see this play that Owyn made paying off to prevent Brennan from really making his plays that he wants, and forcing him to use an extra Clara. So he just attacks here, and yeah, I'll skip to Owyn's next turn. So Brennan just attacking with the Sableye here at the end of his turn. He made a lot of plays. He did play another Clara, so Clara did go into Brennan's discard pile, which is really important here. Both Claras are now in the discard pile. One was discarded with Quick Ball, one was put into the discard, so he doesn't have that many Claras deck. As Owyn showed us, he doesn't have a thick deck, and so Owyn's just going to do the same thing here. He's going to keep using Greninja, he's going to thin out of his deck, he's going to draw, but he has nothing he wants to do. He just wants to attack. He's basically just waiting until in 2 turns' time, when Brennan, he has to use Zard back to back. The other thing he's thinking about is he's going to set up his Radiant Greninja, so that if the Charizard comes down without a cape, or he can get a boss off Roxanne, he can stop his opponent from getting those Radiant Charizards turn after turn. So here, yeah, he sets up the Radiant Greninja, gets the big charm on it to stop it from dying to Sableye on the next turn, or Cramorant on the next turn. And so yeah, all he has to think about is these 2 dying to 2 Radiant Zards. And so he's trying to draw for Roxanne or Mai to prevent that, and he does actually get it, as we'll see. Nothing really important here. Just thinning as hard as possible. Absolutely great play. Thinning as hard as he can from Owyn's side until he can get that Roxanne. And so, doesn't realize he can't Roxanne here. But yeah, he's still gonna wait his time. He's gonna wait 2 turns. Oh, well, he has to wait 2 turns until his opponent Radiant Zards. But when he goes in with the first Radiant Zard, you kill the Radiant Zard, Roxanne, they have to draw Clara. It has to be something they draw on that turn. He will have the Comfy, so you could consider killing the Comfy here, but we do know there's another Comfy in the hand, so that wouldn't do anything. And it means he can Sableye again, so it's definitely not the right play. So yeah, Brennan here, he doesn't do much, he just attacks with Cramorant. I'll skip to Owyn's next turn. And so Owyn, nothing he can do here. Bossing doesn't help him. Cramorant is going to hit the active, but that damage is completely irrelevant. Just putting the Cramorant as fodder. Nothing he can do here. He could boss a Comfy. It's absolutely useless, and it's more important to have the boss in his deck post Roxanne. So Owyn expertly thinning his deck, very important to help him draw the cards that he wants to. But yeah, there isn't really much to think about here. He's killing Cramorant, and so he's going to kill the Cramorant here. Brennan's going to go for simply a Radiant Zard. He's going to get Radiant Zard with a cape on it so the Greninja can't attack. And yeah, we'll skip to Owyn's next turn. Now this is the big turn for Owyn. He's going to be able to promote his Palkia. Can't use Radiant Greninja here, unfortunately. Cross Switcher in the prize, so he's not able to use that. He's going to bench a Sobble here because if his opponent draws Clara, he wins. There's an energy to retreat off the Comfy. There's no real concern there. So yeah, he's just thinking here. He's just gonna fire off the Roxanne. This is the big turn. Not bench Crabominal, not bench anything like that. Just fire off the Roxanne. There's no Sableye in his opponent deck, so he's not worried about that. The Clara wins him, so. But yeah, he's got himself into a good situation. He's forced out the Claras. He's done his best to disrupt his opponent and force out those big cards. So he absolutely deserves this win when Brennan misses the Clara and Owyn wins the game. So we'll see an attack here. And he goes for Clara. He goes for the power. He finds a power pad, going for the Clara. Isn't able to draw it. We will see. We'll see if he draws it. You know, it's the big play, but in the end, we do know that Brennan is not able to find it, and that'll be it. That'll be it for these three highlight games that I thought were really cool from Lille Regionals. Palkia players, you know, absolutely played well. Some of the best players in the game were playing Palkia at this event. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub. If you comment, I'll respond to you. I hope you enjoyed, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.